is who or what is the name of the company or maybe a city or country, a table of content. Again, starting from the table of content, you can see the header, objective or the title of the report, and name of the company. If you see here, every page having some watermarks have been added. In my case, it's a Contoso. Maybe your company logo it can be. Every page have a border. If you see here, it's decorated with the page border. Every page have the page number, and the same page number is getting reflected into the TOC, table of content, that is automatically created. And again, the title of this or objective of this project. Okay, then each and every section and the content is nicely managed. So if you see here in my case, I have let's say objective. See, being the owner or the author of the document, you are the one who knows what your report is consisting of. I'll also show the raw data without any formatting or best practices, do's and don'ts, nothing. Raw file, and that raw file have been also kept into the practice data. Right. Okay. So let's say I'm explaining this because every report has introduction, objective, maybe overview. Each overview may have the subheading, subsection, topics, topics, subtopics. Might be in a bulleted points or maybe in let's say 3.2. Again, within the 3.2, it can be a 3.2.1. Again, 3.2.1.1. Again, level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Your document may contain, and that's that you will decide how it should look like depending upon the flow of the data, depending upon the content flow of the data. So if you are able to see in my case, I have total 4 major topics or the titles to be discussed. So I have an objective. Now, if you are writing a book or maybe a project, consider it as a chapter. Let's say chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, or chapter 5. Okay, if you are writing a project report, you can consider a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 4. In generic, I've taken the 5 such very common things or common titles or the headings that you can put as an author of the document or owner of the document. So let's say I have an objective, I have an introduction, I have an overview. Okay, if I expand that overview, you will be able to see 3.1. See, this report is basically on a renewable energy, right? Might be possible that may be fitting into your day-to-day life content. See, again 3.4, 3.5. If you see each subheadings and title also have their consecutive topics. Let's say case study 1, case study 2. Don't forget, every page should have the border, a page number, and a specific title of the report. Right. If you see here on a conclusion also and bibliography also. Okay, that is the first expectation that we are setting, that you should gain a knowledge today by following the all best practice on the different options that are available on the written. Right. Now you have the license. Okay. That is the sample one, sample output one. Okay, I'm going to show us another output that is again the book on, let's say I've just covered in the way that you can set out get the expectation. So let's say this is some book on renewable energy and the position of India globally. This is some analysis. Guys, I'm happy to share that entire content has been created using Copilot in a couple of minutes. Again, if you see here, a cover page it has got. In the cover page, I have mentioned the date, name of the organization, and the city. If you see here, cover page is excluded with a page number or any other more beautification, it does not require. So it's a best practice. You keep your cover page very simple and sober, and the objective has to be clear, precisely mentioned on a cover page. Okay, then everything that you can start with your
आज ऑफिस की
reports.
एक मीटिंग
Then
चल
if
रही
you
है ना,
see here a title,
एक ऑफिस की आज मीटिंग भी चल रही है साढ़े
instead
नौ
of
से
version 1,
एक
right now
बजे
I am
तक
edition 1,
जो
so
मैं
that you
देख
can mention.
सुबह आपने देखे
A
थे ना
bit
रिकॉर्डिंग चल
POC
रही
has been generated automatically. If you see here very carefully, it is automatically generated. So just try to observe the components. That's what I'm showing to you as a final outcome of your document. Okay. In addition to that, if you are able to see here, it's a little bit on light side, but yeah, on torso or my company logo, which is doing a watermark. Page number, if you see here very carefully, even your index or a table of contents is up to level 3. So if something is there in chapter 4, 4.1, 4.1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 is also mentioned along with the page numbers. Right. That's just not more than 10 to 20 seconds it will take to understand how I did it. If you see here, I kept each and every chapter very carefully, expand. So if I expand the first one, let's say chapter 1, 1.1, 1.1.1. So these are all basic headings. If you see carefully, they are following certain styles of headings. These all 1.1.1, 1.2, they are following certain multi-level list. So these are some options that you should understand that how you want to organize your content very nicely. And if you see here, every chapter is starting on a new page. If you clearly observe, this is the best practice. Always start your new chapter on a new page. And that I did using page break. I'm going to show it. So if you expand this chapter 3, for example, little bit use this type, page 7 of 8. Each chapter on a new page. A lot of things you can do, but this is little bit a very simple, sober, and quite professional and well-appealing documents that I have created. Okay. Before we move to understand how I did it, right? You need to bring a demo file. That is something called. We'll start with the project report. Yeah, this is the raw file. So we'll be able to see project report demo file in your practice dataset into the folder of MS Word. Can I get a quick confirmation? You have the quick access of this document, guys. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, now let's look at these raw data. If I print this document or if I submit this document to my peers or boss, it won't have a good impression. So if you see very carefully, it's just a 3-page. It's unorganized, not organized very well. It will create my wrong impression. Yeah, correct. Project demo 1. Thank you, Amar, for this help. So if you see here very clearly, for understanding purpose, I have kept certain parts available with me. Why it is important? Again, I'm repeating, being an owner and author of this document, I know what report, what sort of document I'm preparing. Question number 1. Question number 2, what does it include? Question number 3, how it can be well organized? And 4, what should I do to add more professional tone or professional appearance for my documents? And last but not the least, do's and don'ts. Best practices. And I always, motivate you to, once this webinar is over, the topic is over, bring a co-pilot experience into your day-to-day life to save the time. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So see, if you see here, I'll start with the cover page. So if you see here, my first page is always a cover page, right? So how to insert a cover page? Just go to the insert button, go to the cover page. Now here into the cover page, you will find a lot of inbuilt templates. This is one of them that I've used. Now, what is the significance or a beauty of this template? Each template has certain things that can help you to define maybe a author, company name automatically, right? You don't require to even bring them into the typing. I'll show how. Right. Similarly, there are almost 12 plus such templates are available depending upon your type of the documents. You can select any one of them, right? Okay. In addition to that, you can also find a more cover pages from the online version of the right. So certain templates are already available from office.com, right? Okay. So I'm just going to add, as we discussed, this standard one. Okay. So it will give me the document title. If you see here very carefully, I haven't typed anything as the name of the author. I haven't given the company name or company address. Right. Now, when you represent your department, you submit a project report or RFP on behalf of your business unit. Right. You never mention your name. So I'm just removing my name from here. I'm not an author. Right. So what you can mention, let's say, example, Ontoso Private Limited. So who is the author? Who is the owner of this document? Right. I can just remove this field and put, let's say, address. Now, why it is important to define this? Because whenever we add headers and footers to uh, more attractive, because header and footers are important, right? Because sometimes we also need to submit the hard copies of the report. We get a printout of let's say 100 pages. Sometimes ordering of putting the pages into the right order or the correct order is very important. Even though we prepare everything into the PDF, but still into the doc format also you have to give the page number, header and footers very carefully. Right? So I hope you understood how we added the cover page. Okay, now document title, I'll put project report 2025. Okay, now what additionally I can do, now I'm removing this my title of because I wanted to show you that first important is your title. Right. Cover page is clear. Any doubt in the word? I started the raw data cover page. Lot of cover pages are available. Templates are available inbuilt and online. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Now the another very important is even though this is project report, right? Project report 2025 doesn't mean what does it say, right? So you need to also explain to your
हेलो
audience that what the
किसका
project report is all about. So let's
किसका
say in my case, the project report is all about the impact of renewable
हाँ
energy
क्या
on
करना
water
था
supply.
क्या करना
Right. So just select that portion
एक्चुअली अभी फुटेज तो मतलब
and
निकालना
go to the focus
अर्जेंट निकालना है कि 2-3 घंटे में भी निकाल सकते
come
हैं
to this style and you will find something called
अच्छा
a title.
तो
Right. Now there are two ways. What I have seen the people. Sometimes people also put the same title, this title, on the cover page as well. On the cover page as well. That's completely fine. It's up to you, right? That you want to mention a title of this here. But sometimes what happens, our project report, name of our project report, or maybe a matter is too long. And let's say in my case, it's almost 5 to 6 words. It's a long words, not able to accommodate in this cover pages. So simple, keep it simple. Project paper 2025, and then you can just copy this. Understood? Now my title is clear. Now what I want that my all the content should be well organized. Now being an author, I only know, as already mentioned here into this index form, roughly made by me, that okay, I have this many of sections and subsections. But for you, sometimes when you are receiving some documents from third party, you need to study the structure and the content and the organization of the content very well before formatting it. If it is not well formatted, then study it first, in and out of the content. Then you can jump into. So I'm just simply not removing this part as of now. Right? Later on will come and just making it red because I want to remove it at the last. Okay. Now, excellent. Now, what I want that piece of my title should continue with, let's say, table of content, along with the table of content. Now, to make the TOC or a index or table of content, actually the formatting starts with this, keeping the idea how we can prepare the TOC automatically. Point number one. Point number two, what is the best style to prepare a TOC? So TOC have, let's say, serial number, a title, and a page number. A simple. What is located at what page? Right, table of content, maybe index. And the third one is, if there is any change in the future, maybe few pages added, I should not manually change the TOC. Because manually changing the POC is literally time consuming and tedious job for individual to go note down the page number, again go to the TOC, change. When you change, now the format is changing, right? Or maybe a spacing and everything gets changed. So what I'm recommending here, being a best practice, you should first decide what are your content. I mark into the red one, and then create a TOC first, and then go to the rest of the beautification. Right. So I'm just doing it. Okay, I know objectively my first chapter or first section. So I'll start with the headings. See, guys, you will not be able to create a TOC automatically until and unless you are not understanding the importance of headings. When I say headings, you have a couple of headings like heading one, heading two, heading. They are nothing but the topics, subtopics, level-wise hierarchy of your content. Right. So I choose heading one because this is my chapter one. Introduction is also my heading, so heading one. Overview. Okay, if I see here, yes, overview is my third. So heading one. Now, if I go here, type of renewable energy, it should not have a header one because type of renewable energy is the content which should come under the overview of renewable energy. I hope that much of idea as an author you should have. So you need to understand your content very well. That's the first golden rule or a thumb rule for formatting or creating a best document for the day. Right. Okay. So I'm just as of now speaking on this. Okay, which was my third important, uh, let's say. So these are all, let's say, under the overview of renewable energy, I want to cover types of renewable energy, benefits of renewable energy, and challenges of adoption. So these basically you can see something like this. These three topics should come under this overview. Okay, now let's jump to the case study. So I'll just pick up the case study. So now case study again heading one. Guys, don't forget, I'm just marking my important chapters or topics with heading one. Why I'm doing that? Because I want to create a table of content automatically so that it can get updated automatically whenever I change any formatting or spacing or adding any number of pages in between my entire document. It never will disturb your existing format. You need to just click update the fields. That's it. Right. Okay. So case study. Okay. Again, conclusion. Heading one. Okay. Bibliography one. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, how you can cross verify that my heading one is properly set? Just expand this list. Okay. Shrink this list. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. So if you see here very carefully, I have six major discussions or a topics or a content to be covered in my report. Right? Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll also mark the heading 2, heading 3 and heading 4, whatever the topics, subtopics I have. It may be also possible there are something like this in my types of renewable energy. Right? I already do have, right? So let me just go. Now what I'll do, I'll start with the objective. Okay, I'll expand the objective. Okay, objective is just a 3 line of paragraph. So no, nothing is there that I can set for heading. I'll go to the introduction. Okay, in between, keep formatting or justifying your text. So it is just an alignment of the text. So when you start formatting, start from the top to bottom. That is the approach you should follow. Right, so start with the objective. In the first para, I knew that it's not a properly aligned. Okay, we know that it looks bad. It also looks bad. Right justification, it also looks bad. Okay, so we always do the justification of a text where we want to distribute our text in a very properly distributed, evenly distributed between the margins. So just so my objective is set. Okay, now come to the introduction. At the same time, you can set out your font size, font family. Right. Why? Because this is something that I'm using as of now. Because giving the font size, font face, like bold, italic, underline, font family, you are already aware, a basic, right? But today we will focus on the best practices, the practice to be followed, rules to be followed, and do's and don'ts in word. Case will be the RFP. You can see this document as RFP. Table is of sales proposal. You can see for the sales proposal. It could be as a sales proposal. You can see something as a sales proposal. So now my introduction is done. Okay. Now when I started overview, now I came to know overview of renewable energy also have some more topics, subtopics. Okay. So I know as an author that okay, under the overview of renewable energy, I should cover first type of renewable energy. So I select that content and now I'll select the heading 2. Heading 2 is always, if you look at in terms of a little bit change. So if you see here, it's a size of 20. If you see, a 20 is of size heading 1. And if you see heading 2, it's a 16. Font size is 16. Right, so it's clearly seen that okay, you have now when I shrink this, everything is covered in heading 2. See, now that I don't want. Now again, I'll go a little bit. So let's say type of renewable energy, let's say solar energy, wind energy, hydropower. Okay, these are all coming under to the type of renewable energy. Okay, then a little bit scroll down. Let's say okay, I want to also be in a topic or a subtopic or subheading, benefits of renewable energy. So I'll put again heading 2 itself. Guys, please follow me in this understanding of the fact that you should have. Now, very important. Now, if you see here, now I'm also justifying this. If you see the difference between these two formatting, there is a lot of line space. See, a space in between these two lines. Now, you may find this in your day-to-day life where certain paragraphs have been formatted like, where there is no line space in between two lines, right, are well justified. And if you see like this, okay, very easy. I've intentionally kept this. Just go and just a second, go to the line and paragraph spacing. I hope you are able to see these options on your screen. There is something called line and paragraph spacing that you can decide, and you can choose how much space you want to keep in between the lines of this text or between the para. Right. So just click on that. It's a by default one. Right. You can also remove the space between before the paragraph, remove the space after the paragraph. You can increase or decrease. Right. You can also mix. Right. These all metrics will talk later on. Right. But if you see very carefully, sometimes you want to keep because they are the type of renewable energy. You want to highlight like this way only. Right, so I'm keeping as it is now. But if you want to have a paragraph kind of thing, always adjust your line spacing options accordingly. Right, by default it is 1.0. Okay, don't forget to justify proper from both the ends. Okay. Now let me, if you see here under the second heading, I mean under the chapter 2, that is introduction, sorry, under the chapter 3, that is overview of the renewable energy, I have two major subtopics. Types of